Enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Hey, yo.
My life, my money, my legacy.
The Fastlane main event is set. I am Jared Never Sleeps, and I'm here with my very handsome co-host, the straight shoot in a suit, Adam Anthony James Martin. Adam, how you doing on this Friday night? I'm sorry. How you doing on this Saturday morning? Marks.
Yes, it is bright and early Saturday morning. The crack of dawn.
The sun hasn't even come up yet. We're bright and early.
The rooster just woke me up. So here in Ontario, Canada, but I'm doing great. I'm awake. Surprisingly, I'm awake after maybe what we witnessed. I think we agree on that. Tonight wasn't the most exciting product, but we did watch it. We fought through. And here we are to recap it. So I'm excited. Let's get through this. Let's do this. But before we do that, Jared,
what do we got here? Oh, for life.
Oh, yeah. Just too sweet, baby.
Zoom sweet. But well, welcome to our Smackdown review for March 5th, 2021. And I think the biggest story come out of this is the Fastlane main event is set. We're gonna have Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Title. So that came about from the Daniel Bryan tapped out Jey Uso in the main event cage match of SmackDown Live. And I think you can agree with me that this wasn't the best show. I'm still a little jittery from Dynamite last night, and to be honest, I'm still on that high. I saw Shaq take a table bump. I never thought I'd see that before in my life. But again, we've talked about this before. It's very difficult. Well, not difficult, but WWE seems to have a lot of trouble with booking the in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, and that's kind of what we're getting right now.
Yeah, we're kind of getting bits and pieces, things thrown together just to fill in those slots. Fastlane probably doesn't have to be there, but again, it's a pay-per-view for them to draw money. It's another way that they could utilize, or another tool that they could utilize to build up their storylines for, the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. Are they doing that, in my opinion, the proper way? No. And they haven't done that in a while. I mean, I like the Bryan match with Reigns, but really, is Bryan going to come through and headline WrestleMania as the the Universal Champion, or the champion of that brand? So it's a good match, but that's all it is to me. What do you think?
Yeah, it's funny because when we wanted Daniel Bryan a couple years ago, they didn't give it to us, and now we always love Daniel Bryan, but we know he's not going to be in the main event of WrestleMania. He doesn't need to be there. I'm not interested in seeing maybe a triple threat between Edge and Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. I don't think that we particularly need that. I think the story with Edge and Roman Reigns is fine, but again, it's just a filler, and it's so projected that it makes everything so disinteresting. Even though it was a good match, still a cage match, was decent, but again, we already know where we're going with this, so it's just kind of a waste of time. I feel like we can do something more with Daniel Bryan.
Definitely. I think, obviously Reigns will probably go ahead and defend his championship at Fastlane against Bryan, maybe with an assistance from Jey Uso, which could lead to a Bryan versus Uso match at WrestleMania. What do you think?
Bryan versus Uso. I mean, it would be nice for a Bryan versus Uso match, but if they need it to mean something. We've seen it over and over again on TV every single week. So unless it's going to be a loser leaves town match, or for a title, or some type of stipulation, it's like I see that every single week on free TV. So I love Daniel Bryan, I love Jey Uso, but where are we going with this?
Well, Jimmy's supposed to be coming back soon, right? I think I read something somewhere where Jimmy's supposed to be coming back. So it's going to be really interesting how they involve him in this storyline, especially with Reigns being the head of the table. Does Jimmy smarten Jey up and say, hey, this guy's just using you? we're a tandem. It's you and me. It's always has been that way. We can ditch Roman now that I'm here to back you up. You have my back, I have your back. We don't need Heyman and Reigns. You're going about this all wrong. Do they turn back to a face team? I like them as heels, but what do you think on this whole situation?
I would love that. I just don't want it right now because I think that Roman Reigns is doing the best work of his career. And I really would love to see them hold out another year for hopefully The Rock and Roman Reigns at Hollywood for a title. That's another thing about wrestling is that you get the opportunity to get so many different dream matches. We never get to see LeBron versus Michael Jordan or Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali. But the fact in wrestling, you can get a Roman Reigns versus Rock. You got the family feud, but also you have a feud of two different generations. That's what I love about the sport. But I would love to see like kind of a Jimmy be the one that swarms everybody up. But let's wait till like 2022, 2023 for that, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the Usos are better as a heel tandem and a unit with Romans, like you were saying, than they are, a babyface team.
So. And I would love to see the table grow. Throw Tamina in there, throw Naomi in there, just make it like a whole faction. It's Roman Reigns heel family. Like, why not?
Kind of like the Hurt Business, but a legit family.
A legit family.
So
Rikishi can get in there. Alpha and Sika, like just throw everyone in there. Just make it a whole family feud. Put them on Family Feud. I just want to see more Roman
with Todd Harvey or
with Steve Harvey. Yeah,
Steve Harvey.
I would love that versus like the Hart family or something. But
moving along.
Yeah, moving along. And I noticed that there's no Edge on this show at all. After Edge was complaining about, I don't want Daniel Bryan to go in line in front of me and get his title shot and what's going on, and Edge just didn't show up this week.
Very good point. I didn't even realize that. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I'm going through my notes and nowhere do I have that written down. No Edge. That should have been like the first thing.
I noticed it toward the end because I figured maybe he would interfere in the cage match to kind of add that little element, like maybe he helps Daniel Bryan just to add some little twist or turn to it. I don't know. And try to screw over Roman Reigns.
Explaining to himself and saying, "Hey, who am I to take away your shot?"
Play some type of mind game, which I think would be kind of a different little element. Like maybe Jey Uso is about to escape, and then Edge stops him, and then Daniel Bryan escapes. So another thing that was with cage matches, you don't really see a finish where it's someone taps out in the cage. It's usually someone goes over the top or someone goes out the door. I know within the last couple of years they started adding the pinfalls, but yeah, it was a match where Jey Uso just kind of tapped out.
Yeah. I mean, they did utilize the cage. It did use its purpose. It did serve its purpose. Sorry. It was really cool to, see how they were going to do it. At one point, I was like, are they going to draw a little bit of blood here? Because, but then I remembered, wrong era. We don't have
PG. Daniel Bryan's a dad now.
But it had me thinking, right? So that was kind of cool. Particularly personally, I like the addition of the pinfall or the submission added to the cage match rather than the escape. Back in the day when I was younger, when they had the big blue cage, and the big square holes and all that stuff like that, I liked the escape and no pinfall, no submission. But now I've changed, just because we've seen so many ways that someone can only escape a cage, someone go at the door, so you add that element of pinfall or submission. Just gives you a little element of surprise on how the match is actually going to finish. So that was kind of cool. But
oh man, I gotta disagree. I think that adds to the stipulation that you have to escape a cage, because if you can pin somebody or you can submit them, like what the heck's the point of the cage? I literally like the old back in the day, like just old school Bret Hart matches, the type of wrestling we'll probably never see again ever. But yeah, just the way you can kind of have shenanigans happen. Someone runs in and helps someone at the cage, or like even like in recent memory, we've seen Jey Uso help Roman Reigns escape the cage in that Kevin Owens match. So I do like that dynamic of like you have to literally escape it. But I see where you're coming from. It adds like that extra dynamic that you can pin someone or you can submit them as well.
You got to think about it now too, right? Like at least I do. I don't know about you, but with talent today, they're going to be willing to take those high risk moves from the top of the cage to the mat. One thing stands out, and they got away with it was Mankind versus Triple H when he went up and did the splash from the cage, and it flashed back to his his
Snooker
off his
at
garage
Madison
on
Square
his
Garden.
mattress, but then he got up and then had to climb over the cage again, right, to win. So nowadays people are more willing to take those high risks off the top of the cage. So when you do a big move like that, you take out yourself plus your opponent.
Right.
Do you really have the energy to get out the door or get back up that cage and climb out to the floor? So throwing the pin, throwing the submission, I'm okay with it.
Right.
In that
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I can get down with that. So, but yeah, nonetheless, Daniel Bryan submits Jey Uso, so he's headed to the main event of Fastlane. Whoopie whoop. How do you think that they're gonna get out of that? Like, is this gonna be a 20-minute main event that just Roman Reigns just lays waste to Daniel Bryan and that's it? What do you think they go from there?
Probably be back and forth.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to what we've seen with Bryan and Uso, that style of match where it was back and forth. But I expect Edge to be there this time. I expect him to have a factor in it, some way, shape, or form, whether he, prevents Uso from interfering or, something along those lines, or is just there. Some sort of presence would be great. Again, to lead up to WrestleMania. But yeah, obviously Roman Reigns is going over. So again, like you said, whoop-de-doo. It's just going to be another good match between two great guys right now. So
yeah, and speaking of Roman Reigns, to open the show, his promo where, Daniel Bryan started off, and Daniel Bryan was saying how he loves the business. Roman Reigns comes out and says, "You don't love this business. I love this business because people need me. Service is about love. So love is about service. And I serve this whole company. You need me. This cameraman needs me. The fans need me." And I'm like, man, this guy why didn't they turn him heel 5 years ago? Could you imagine?
Oh, exactly. That
Too
would have
good.
been phenomenal. Would have been much better for his career, but look at him now. He's on top of the mountain. No one can touch him. Excuse me. He's great on the mic. He doesn't really need Heyman there, but with the presence of Heyman, it just adds to it, right?
Yeah.
And then again, his ring work is so much better now. It's a lot more aggressive. It's more his style, the way that he should have been working all along. Do I think he needs a new finisher? Yeah. I think he could have a better one. Yeah, the Superman punch and the spear just doesn't do it for me. But it's going to be cool at WrestleMania when Edge and Reigns finally match up, because then you do get the spear versus spear finally, which is cool.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, the nostalgia pop, and again, you have those.
No, wait. Did he use his own finisher or did he steal Roman's finisher?
That's a good question. Oh, real heel heat, taking someone's finisher and beating them with it. Let's see if we can find some tweets from some fans. If you guys want to get involved in the conversation, join our conversation online. You got to follow our Twitter at WNS_TV and use the hashtag WrestlingNeverSleeps. So we have a tweet from a fan here at Soldier Singh. He says, "Well, Roman Reigns will have to defend the Universal Championship against Daniel Bryan. Not a shock to Roman Reigns at all." So again, WWE just really projecting what's going to happen. We knew this was going to, be what it is. And let's see. This guy is going ham with the tweets. At Colazo_Nick says, "That was a good SmackDown tonight on Fox, and it ends with the leader of the Yes Movement, Daniel Bryan, winning the steel cage match and will face the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, for the Universal Championship at WWE Fastlane on the WWE Network at hashtag WrestlingNeverSleeps." So a guy just, I guess, putting a promo out for WWE. And
for free.
Yep.
Volunteer.
Yeah.
I guess you don't really work for free, right? You volunteer.
Promo ain't free, baby. And then
Characters are money.
At Sure11235, he tweeted a picture of Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman from tonight, and he says, "The look that tells you their fates. First, poor Jay will pay for the losing, and then Daniel Bryan will be put down at Fastlane. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Yes, yes, yes. I got my match." And happy emoji. So this guy is thinking that Daniel Bryan's going to win. I think he's a little bit naive, or maybe we're the naive ones. I'm not sure. But next up on the
hopeful.
card, he's hopeful. Yeah, he's optimistic. I think it's Daniel Bryan's mom who tweeted that. It had to be. Next up on the card, we had the first match of the night. We had the Street Profits versus Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin.
Yes, interesting situation.
Yeah. Now you liking the Sami Zayn Baron Corbin matchup?
I think Corbin's hilarious. I don't know if it's just my weird sense of humor. Let me know what you think, guys and gals. But Corbin to me he's just a go-to guy that can irk you the wrong way any way possible, and he does it just with everything he does, like the way he works in the ring, the way he comes out, and the way he talks to Sammy without the camera really being on him, or he's not doing a promo. He's just shooting at Sammy during the whole match or during the whole time they're out there together. I like the fact that he finds him annoying, like the little dog. What are we doing today, Spike? Like the old cartoons, and the big dog is like, get away from me. Like that's how Sammy is with Corbin. I think it's quite comical, even though, Corbin isn't really trying to be goofy with it. He just has a natural comedic, aspect to it. He adds to it. So I like the combo. Yeah, I do like the combo. And I don't necessarily like them as a team, like in matches, but I like them around each other because you can just tell that Sammy genuinely probably does annoy the hell out of Baron Corbin.
Yeah, right.
That's what I love about it.
Oh man, I don't know if I hate.
Though, right?
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I like Sami Zayn. I think he's hilarious. Yeah, the conspiracy theory gimmick is just really great. Yeah, I just love that Sami Zayn. Baron Corbin, I don't know if I hate him because he's a really good heel, or I hate him because I want him to go away. Like he just
go away heat, or
it might be a little bit go away heat for me because I mean. I don't want to see him. I don't know why. It's whatever with the Baron Corbin.
I do.
I'm not a fan. So this turned out into to be basically two matches. Then we had Angelo Dawkins versus Sami Zayn. And
first we had Corbin versus Ford.
Corbin. I said Street Profits versus those two. Yes, we had Corbin versus Ford. And then Dawkins and Zayn with Corbin in his corner and Montez Ford in his respective corner. So, I mean, in contrast to AEW, not to compare, but they don't really do much with their tag teams, WWE. It's kind of just like a whatever. Nothing really progressed out of this storyline. There's nothing with the matches. It's just kind of random matches, it seems like.
Yeah, I got the impression too. It's just like, what are we going to kind of do with these guys? Obviously, they're aiming to do something with the Street Profits, getting their title match back somewhere down the road, whether it be at Fastlane or WrestleMania. But in the meantime, they're dealing with two guys that don't want to be, well, Sammy obviously likes Corbin.
Yeah.
Corbin wants nothing to do with Sammy, which I find makes it comical and worth watching for me. And I think that's why I like that program. But again, it's not really leading anywhere for those two. I can't really see Corbin turning face out of this. I can't see Sammy
I don't think
face
out of this. I'll be shocked.
Thing. So it's like two heels, but one's kind of not fond of the other, and they're just kind of putting up with each other because they got nothing else to do. But I do like the back and forth that Corbin does off the mic. Again, like I was saying, when Corbin, came out, interrupted Sammy. Sammy is all excited about teaming up with Corbin again. He ruins his plans, crushes his dreams, says, no, we're doing two single matches. I'm going up against Ford, and Sammy and his crew stay out there, right? So this is great.
Yeah.
And Corbin goes in there, shows on a really strong display of dominance pretty much throughout the entire match. I thought it looked really strong and got the win with the end of days. Clean pin, pretty much. A minor
very protected finish too. No one kicks out of that.
No one kicks out of that, and that's another thing about Corbin. He's got a finisher that actually finishes people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so rare nowadays.
It was really rare, and this match kind of led up to the next match, which again involved Sammy and Dawkins. Yeah, and I don't quite understand the booking. Like, I figured if Corbin was going to win, Sammy probably would have won too. But I like the fact that Sammy accidentally bumped into Corbin. Camera guys got involved a little bit.
Yeah. And
The
then he
one
beat up his camera guy
that
too.
Sammy
Yeah.
beat up was Christian Blake. Was that his name?
I don't know. Like a year more
I
in tune
think
with
he
the
was
indie
someone
guys.
in the
Yeah.
Performance Center, maybe, or someone from the Indies. I'm not too familiar with them, but I've seen a bunch of tweets. People recognized them. Showed it to Sean Ross Sapp, I believe.
Yeah.
He's the first one that I noticed mention it. So thanks for that, Sean. And kind of pointed it out. So just another upcoming guy probably that's going to be introduced to the roster more than just what he played on, unless he was just doing a fill-in thing. But it's cool to it was interesting to see Sammy lose this because Corbin won so strong. Sammy gets screwed over again with this whole conspiracy thing. First of all, with the tag team match not happening, he didn't plan for a singles match, which he pointed out right away. He asked if all three of them were in on it, which was really funny to me.
Yeah, I like that.
Like,
yeah.
what's going on here? Like, you guys are in cahoots. Like, so that was cool. He ends up losing. Doesn't recognize the one camera guy, which was Blake.
Yeah.
I believe that's the correct name. I apologize if it's wrong, but ends up doing a number on him for a little bit. And then, the conspiracy theory continues and his documentary continues, which I'm really excited for.
So do you think that gives him an out to start a feud with the camera guy? Or maybe that's a plant from Corbin. Is there an out there where Sami Zayn can move on and start feuding with the new what'd you say, Christian Bale?
Christian Blake, I think.
Christian. It's not Christian Bale. I think it's Christian Bale.
I don't know. Christian Bale?
Yeah, it's Batman. It was Batman.
Batman.
Batman versus Sami Zayn. Book it, Vince.
Book it, Vince.
But yeah, do you find that? Do you think that's going to be some type of that will start to materialize to some type of feud where Sami Zayn can work with this new up and coming talent?
Yeah, that could be true, and that'd be a good fit too for anyone that's new to the business or new to the main roster, or someone they want to try to get over, because putting them with someone like Sammy, so experienced, and he knows how to work. Like, it shows week to week how good of a heel he is, and a worker he is, no matter what position he's put into. He's making this work huge. I love it. So any new fresh babyface that comes into the roster, pair him up with a guy like Sammy by all means, and especially the way they did it, because he didn't recognize the camera guy. He's like, I hired you, but I didn't hire you. Do you work for that? It was really cool.
He's so good.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then he meet him a few times. So
yeah, and speaking of
that's
Sammy,
how they introduced the new talent.
Yeah, that's what I imagine. That's probably because they just wouldn't have a random camera guy there. I feel like, and he just hits the camera guy for no reason. So it's got to probably add to something. So we have to continue to watch for that. Eyes are bleeding. Speaking of Sami Zayn, his long-time buddy, rival, frenemy, all that. Kevin Owens was not on the show again. He was missing. That's
another guy that was missing.
Yeah.
Another observation I did not notice.
Yeah, I did actually just notice that when we were talking about Sami Zayn, because he just actually had he was on Clubhouse recently. And
I wonder if his arm.
Oh, it could be something
from the chamber.
Possibly. But Sami Zayn was on Clubhouse recently. He was saying that it's basically inevitable that him and Kevin Owens will be tag team champions. So yeah, it's a little interesting thing to say. He said it's inevitable. They'll be and I think people would love that tag team champions because they're both entertaining. They both can work.
Québécois, the French Canadian.
The French Canadian, ça va bien. Next match on the card, we had Cesaro versus Murphy with Seth Rollins on commentary. He had the Easter suit, pink Easter suit up there.
Did Dom and Chad come before that?
Yes, Dominic and Chad did come. It was Dominic Mysterio and Chad Gable. Quick little match. Dominic wins with a roll up. It's not
really much to talk about it.
Yeah,
he used the most vicious move in all of sports entertainment to win, I believe.
Yeah, the most devastating pin in all of sports entertainment. The roll up pin. And then Cesaro and Murphy. As soon as I seen Cesaro on television, I was just like, "Oh, he's gonna get jobbed out." There's nothing for this man, and that's what it was. It was a job out. And then Seth Rollins on commentary.
What did you think of the interaction between Murphy and Seth before the match? Seth asking to help and try to get back with him after. I didn't really follow up the whole Mysterio Murphy thing.
Because it was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just honestly, the whole show was just kind of like, if I can sum this whole thing up in a word, it'd be standstill. The whole show didn't seem like anything progressed. It was like, all right, we have to have a show tonight. We need people to have something to do. And yeah, like my dog could have booked this show. So it was just kind of like, all right, Murphy and Seth Rollins interact. They have a history, and Murphy's kind of like, I could help you out. But I thought he turned face when he joined the Mysterio family. So now he wants to help Rollins out. And then the storyline with Rollins and Cesaro didn't really progress either. Yeah, at least I would thought like maybe, I don't know, Rollins interferes in the match, or maybe Murphy like throws Cesaro on the table and he hits Rollins or something. But it would just, nope, Rollins on commentary, and he's gonna commentate a match. So yeah, it was just the whole show just seemed like very just stale today, stand at a standstill. I don't know.
There was nothing that popped, even with the cage match announcement for the main event. It just wasn't really that exciting, and it proved to be nothing more than, a less than average kind of show.
Yeah, like I was looking forward to the cage match just because the in-ring, like you love to see Daniel Bryan. A cage match is a nice gimmick you want to see. But I mean, I knew the ending of it. I knew that, okay, Daniel Bryan's going to be in the main event of Fastlane. He's gonna lose. But other than that, it's just kind of like, where are we going here on the road to WrestleMania? We're at a rest stop on the road to WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Next,
it just wasn't
wasn't
anything spectacular, like you're saying.
Right. And then we have a backstage segment. We have Carmella fires Reginald from his fired. Oh, that is the guy who's going to show up at AD. It's going to be Reginald, since he's fired now. That's the big signing, because there's no
future Hall of Famer.
Yes, future Hall of Famer. They need more Somalis on that show. But yeah, Carmelo fires Reginald, and yeah, I'm surprised it took her this long, because Reginald's kind of been on Sasha Banks' top the past 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, I like the game that she played. I like how she built that up with the snake, and Reginald being so surprised that she was implying that he was the snake.
Yeah,
and then her stealing Vince's words, firing his ass right on the spot. He even had his moment out in the ring side there, getting bumped around and just not feeling any love whatsoever. So poor Reggie, hit the bricks, kiddo. You are gone.
If you had to start this thing over, if you had to start the whole Reginald thing over, you had to put him on the main roster. What would you do with Reginald? Because he can do flips and stuff. He's obviously athletic and everything. Definitely undersized, obviously. But what do you think you would have did with him?
I don't think I would have paired him up with Carmella, because they didn't really do anything together. I think I would have went right after the Sasha Banks interest.
Yeah.
And secretly been helping her keep Sasha as a face, but have this heel guy that has a crush on her.
Yeah.
Help her win matches without her acknowledgement. And, do something from there.
Yeah. Just get right to it.
Have Sasha, eventually go, you know what? I like Reggie. Reggie's been helping me. I knew he's been helping me this whole time. I just played all you guys because I'm still the boss. That kind of thing.
I can get down with that.
That would have been cool, right? It would have made sense.
I could get down, because at least it's because Reginald has not been any type of help or service to Carmella whatsoever. And
no,
why is she drinking on the job? Why does she need champagne on a wrestling show? Yeah, but I guess that we can segue right into the match, Bianca Belair versus Shayna Baszler, and Bianca's corner we have Sasha Banks, and Shayna Baszler's corner, of course, we have her tag team championship partner Nia Jax. And I'm triggered again because I really wanted this storyline to be good. I thought it would be I think if it was a good storyline, it'd be great for the women's division. I think this had the opportunity to make history. I think this had the opportunity to be something that we remember for years to come. And WWE has completely dropped the ball on this whole storyline. It was just released, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago, that these two teams are going to be facing each other at Fastlane again. for the tag team championships. And it's like, damn, just tell a simple ass story. Like, why are the tag team belts being held hostage? Again, why is Sasha and Bianca working together for titles they don't even need? And it's just like, what's going on here? I don't understand the storyline or what story they're trying to tell.
No, unfortunately, these four athletes are stuck in a Picasso.
Yeah.
You're looking at something very, very well. The capabilities of being potentially, something very beautiful, but without understanding what's actually there in front of you, it makes it very, very ugly. And unfortunately, this whole scenario is very, very ugly. They're, like you said, holding the tag team titles up. Eventually we know Dakota Kai and did they already have their match? No, they still get the challenge for the titles, right? Dakota
Okay,
Kai.
so I want to bring up this tweet. I'm glad you said that. So, and guys, if you want to join in on the conversation, go you follow us at WNS_TV and use the hashtag WrestlingNeverSleeps. But at Kevin Burge, he says, why Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair again? Naomi and Lana still have a title shot. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez were legitimately screwed. The division should be deep enough to not repeat. Hashtag SmackDown, hashtag Wrestling Never Sleeps. The guy's he has valid points. You have all these tag teams that want the gold, and like if Bianca and Sasha just lost, why do they get another title shot? Why are they at the top of the line again? And they're not even a tag team. That's the other thing. They're not even. They're supposed to be rivals. So what's going on here?
WWE or rankings don't matter.
Like, I don't get it. Like, who makes up these storylines?
There's also Natalya and Tamina.
There's the Natalya and Tamina, and they were on the show, and they're like, we need title shots too. So why are we having this feud here?
Maybe I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they're doing it. Maybe this is when Sasha and Belair win the women's tag team championships, and then they part ways right before WrestleMania. Like we were talking about on previous shows, the stereotypical tag team split. We've seen it with Michaels and Austin. We've seen.
Can they coexist?
Exactly.
Like, well, why do they need to?
They don't need to. They want the same thing anyway. And Sasha's got it. Belair wants it. Boom. There it is. We've said it millions of times. Simplicity is usually the answer.
And then the other thing is Reginald keeps on going for Sasha. And it's pretty well documented that Sasha's married. She's super married. So, like, I guess WWE just ignores because, Ric Flair, who's married, and Lacey Evans, who's married, they were item. And now Reginald is coming after Sasha, but everyone knows she's married. So that's also like the weird dynamic, unless it's going to be Reginald versus Sarath Tron at WrestleMania. Sasha on a pole match.
On a forklift.
Yeah. Sasha on a forklift match. Winner gets Sasha.
Bring back Judy Bagwell.
Yeah. So, just a convoluted storyline that I'm very disappointed because I wanted this to be good.
Yeah, it's been unfortunately very terrible.
Yeah.
There's no purpose to it, in my opinion. It's very predictable. If Banks and Belair do win the tag team titles, what's going to happen? Obviously, been there, done that. Don't need to see it again. I just want to see a straight up good match that these two could potentially and will have. For that women's championship, I want the belt to mean a little bit more than what it's being treated as right now. Just as well as the tag team champions for the women. Am I excited about this? No.
Nope. My heart's broken. My heart is broken.
I like to see Bayley in the women's title picture again.
Yes, because great point. My next segue, because she's not doing nada.
Nada. What did she do tonight?
Bayley, your longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion, was on television for maybe 60 seconds tonight in a backstage segment for her show Ding Dong Hello. So she's about to read some nice tweets. She saw a tweet that she didn't like, and then she was like, what is this? And then she got up and then she left. So hopefully it was a tweet from like Tessa Blanchard or something, and that starts it up. But how do you think they could have made more Bayley or used Bayley in a different way?
I love this show.
Ding Dong Hello.
My favorite part of it's my favorite part of SmackDown. And when they cut me off, I was not happy. I was not impressed with their performance. So they did literally nothing with her. She read it. I didn't understand the segment. I didn't understand why she was there to begin with. If they weren't gonna, do anything really, I mean, it's like it was just boom, boom. It's like when you put cotton candy in water, it's just gone. It's there for 1 second, it's gone the next.
I've never put cotton candy in water, but I understand the imagery.
It's gone.
You're a weird kid, my man.
It's like most people's paychecks, week to week.
Right. Yeah, this is like, and I tried to, even when I'm watching it, I try, we try to write notes and we try to prepare for our show, and I couldn't really write notes on this show because it was just like, what the hell is going on? It seems like SmackDown comes on at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time here in on our time zone. It seems like at like 7:40, Vince McMahon was like, "Oh crap, what's today? Is it Friday? Oh crap, what time's that show on? We got to start writing." Like it was just like, this is the worst book report I've ever read.
7:59.
Start writing, damn it! Get Roman out there. First segment.
Yeah, get him out there.
But
Say whatever you want.
If there was a bright spot out of this show, let's talk about Apollo Crews and his new attitude.
Yes, let's do the man from Nigeria. Bam, saying what he needs to say, getting it done with a brilliant promo. Excuse me.
A real African American.
That man is legit. I love the new angle. I like the new turn up. I won't even call it like a gimmick because it just seems like it's legit. How he feels and how he is. So that is one badass man right now. I like to see what they do with him. I believe back before when Paul Heyman was, I believe, a producer of the show. Again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or whatever like that, but I think one of his guys that he really wanted to push was Apollo Crews. Before
it was Heyman. Yeah, I think it was Heyman actually.
Heyman. Who did I say?
You said Bischoff.
Oh, sorry, not Bischoff. Heyman. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was definitely like Aleister Black, Ricochet, and Apollo Crews. So to see them finally getting and seeing what Heyman saw in this guy and letting him do his thing is just a notch on Heyman's belt, in my opinion, because he, again, pre-predicted a star in the making, and now they're letting him shine like the star that he actually is. What do you think of Apollo Crews?
I mean, I'm going to come from it from a little bit different perspective. Like, I as an African American in America, I think if that's not redundant, as African American, I grew up on characters like Kamala, like just stereotypical. I grew up on Junkyard Dog, even Triple H having racist promos against Booker T, and then Booker T losing at WrestleMania and not getting his comeuppance. So to see Apollo Crews out there and just being like a regular character that just happens to be Nigerian and a strong character, and he's not stereotypical and he's not making a joke out of his race. I think I got to give WWE credit for their progression as how they treat minority characters. And also, like, now you have Bobby Lashley is the WWE champion. You have Sasha Banks is the SmackDown Women's champion. You have Big EE, who's the Intercontinental champion. So that type of representation definitely matters, especially with everything that's going on in the summertime and everything that's going on historically in America when dealing with like minorities. So like definitely kudos to WWE for that. And I'm really loving like the character development of Apollo Crews. He's just like saying like, hey, I'm Nigerian, I'm royalty, I'm the man. This is who I am. This is who I'm going to be from now on. And you can like it or love it. So like, kudos to WWE.
Definitely. Sure. And I like to hate it. So it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that's going to lead to a feud between the feud basically between Big E and Apollo Crews.
Yeah, because Big E comes back next week, which I'm really excited for. I think he adds a lot to the program. Again, another guy that hasn't been on the program for a couple of weeks now due to the injury that we saw, with the steps and the Crews attack. So if we get Kevin Owens back, if we get Edge back on the program and leading up to WrestleMania for Reigns and him, if we get Big E back, if we could actually get a real program with Ding Dong Hello, I think SmackDown still has the potential to recover from this week to next week. So
and that will be the go home show. So I guess they're saving some stuff for the go home show. And I guess the hardcore fans are gonna watch Fastlane anyway, but it's kind of like WrestleMania is kind of the set. The stuff you need to know is the set. Yeah, it's kind of booked. So I'll be the go home show. If we can go back to Apollo right quick, at Dustino Heat says they really have Apollo Crews out here doing an accent. Couldn't even watch the segment. Corny as F. Hashtag Smackdown. Hashtag WrestlingNeverSleeps. So this guy hated it. Billy Joel
He
Olsen.
must not have seen him last week because he was doing it then too.
Yeah, he missed out.
I think he owns it. Like it's great in my opinion. But to each is their own.
It's like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I'm getting Wakanda Forever vibes. Yeah. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. So what other segments were there? We had Corbin, Street Profits, Carmella.
We had the pre-match. Like we had the promo before the main event.
Who's promo?
And that was Bryan being really aggressive and jumping Jey Uso, which is kind of like a heel move to do, you know? Kind of like, ooh, didn't expect that. I was watching it with a friend and my roommate actually, and he noticed, he's like, oh, this is kind of an interesting camera angle. And as soon as he said that, as soon as he finished the sentence, boom, there's a Daniel Bryan. I'm like, whoa, this kind of surprised me for him to jump Uso. I know he's frustrated with, previous events and things that have happened between the two of them, but for a babyface like Daniel Bryan to jump a heel like Jey Uso, kind of flip-flops, right? Am I wrong? Am I old school thinking still, or is that just out of place? Should have been the other way around.
Man, I can't get invested with the storyline anyway. It's just kind of like this doesn't make, they're not even trying to make sense. That's what I'm upset about. They're just not even trying to, because you're right. Daniel Bryan jumping the heel, and it's not like there's a blood feud really. Like the heels have kind of been playing, I don't want to say fair and square, but it's like, hey, you're in an elimination chamber. The winner of the elimination chamber gets a title match. Daniel Bryan won. He got his title match. He ended up losing. Then he comes back the next week like, hey, but I wasn't ready. It's like, yeah, but you knew what was up, man. Yeah. So now he's trying to get his way back into the title picture, and he jumps the heel. So it was like,
I didn't like it.
Damn.
I did not like it. Like it should have been the other way around, if anything.
So
and then with Roman back-to-back weeks watching his cousin lose to Daniel Bryan, allowing him or enabling him to get the wins.
Yeah, cleanly.
Well, sorry, you got to count it out last week, but this week it's a cage match. There's no DQ. Why not try to? Well, Daniel Bryan obviously had to go over to create the match at Fastlane, but still, why not throw Reigns in there to at least
or Edge
do a botch appearance?
Edge, the ultimate opportunist, helps Daniel Bryan. So Roman Reigns is like mad about Edge. Now he has to, he
get the night off.
Something Edge like that. Right. They could, we book us, Vince. That would makes more sense. Yeah. So being a lifelong WWE fan, dare I say,
it's a lot easier to book the show after it's happened.
That's true. But I don't think I would have came up with this. I don't think I would have came up with any of this stuff. But being a lifelong WWE fan, dare I say that, I'm going to pause for effect. Dare I say that AEW had the best show of the week.
It's fair to say.
Outlaw, Indie, Mud Show had the best show of the week.
I can't use the word best personally. I'll use the word entertaining. AEW definitely had the more entertaining show this whole week. I think they had a better flow and programming. Their production was great.
But if you were stuck in purgatory and you were forced to watch one show for all of eternity, which one would you pick? If you had to pick a hell to be in
show at all time, because I'd go back to Shotgun Saturday Night.
No, I mean one of the three from this week. One of the three from this week. You had to pick one.
Oh, AEW.
I know, right? It hurts.
Yeah, Raw was close, but
the marks, the AEW marks, gonna be comments like, "See, I told you it's great." They have Sting. He's taking power bombs.
I'm expecting Goldberg to show up. Revolution.
Is Goldberg? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm so over Goldberg.
No, it's Tommy Dreamer, bro.
Has he been world champion? Tommy Dreamer.
ECW.
Does he have? Could be. Or like, what about like Big Papa Pump or something? Or
I don't know. I
These
don't even
guys are
like
old
thinking about
though.
it.
They
I've
can't
seen
go
so
that.
many ridiculous answers
They can't go
all
that
over
old.
social media, and since Big
But
Show made that
what's
announcement,
great to see though is like people are really into this. Like everyone's like, who is it? Who is it? People really want to know.
yeah, it's like looking for the Lord of the Ring. My
Yeah.
precious. I need this answer.
Who is it?
All these smarks online. And again, when I say that, I just mean people
Hopefully
that
don't let
think
us
they know
down.
what they're talking about.
I hope
and
they don't let
know
us down.
what WWE has actually booked. It's all
Yeah.
opinion based here, so we're just taking it easy, and every opinion's open and accepted. So you can agree or disagree with either of us, but in my opinion, I'll wait and see rather than trying to guess. You burn more energy that way.
It's Hornswoggle. I know it.
The illegitimate son of Vince
It's Hornswoggle.
switches to AEW. Groundbreaking news.
But let's
if you were to grade or actually the match between we talked about at the beginning of the show, but I did like the finish. We were talking about the submission and the pinfalls and stuff like that.
That was
But
cool.
The move itself, I love that move. The combo of the double underhook suplex into the lock or the bell lock, whatever you want to call it. So that was kind of cool. Again, we get Roman and Bryan at Fastlane. And how would you, normally your question, but I'm going to put you on the spot. What letter would you grade this week's SmackDown?
This week's SmackDown was a solid, for the first time ever, the first time in Wrestling Never Sleeps history, I'm going to give this show a D. Yeah. It was a D.
A big old D.
No story. It was a
R.I.P.
What's the guy's name? Barry Woods. It was a big old D. Because the other storylines were furthered. Just terrible. It's just an awful show. Like, this is the first week I was like, I don't want to watch SmackDown. I like Bailey enough time. Roman's great, of course. Daniel Bryan's great, of course, but it's like this is all foregone conclusion. No Edge. I really hate the Sasha feud. I really wish that was better. I don't like the tag team stuff. No Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn is great, but I don't really like. I'm not a fan of the Corbin stuff. I don't really like the Street Profits either. So I'm going to be one of those sour internet wrestling community fans, and I'm like, I hate this. So it's a D. How about you?
I also agree with you. A big old D. Just flapping in the wind, not knowing what to do.
This SmackDown was poop.
Yeah, it was legit. Not the best.
Yeah.
Per se, they've done better in the past, and I expect them to do much better next week. The go home show for Fastlane. But again, looking forward to it. But before we get to SmackDown again, we have so many other shows, so many reviews. We have our Street Shoot Sundays. We did fail to get one out on last Sunday, I believe. I'll take the responsibility on that one.
Yeah, but he went through a table and he was knocked out.
I was underneath Shaq.
Bad table spot. Yeah, went wrong.
But this Sunday, again, it'll be fun and exciting, something a little different rather than just the review and recaps and the grading and stuff like that, and just breaking down, results and previewing shows. Looking forward to it.
And we'll have some AEW Revolution for you guys next week. I think that's how you say it in French. AEW Revolution.
Revolution. Like Le Champion.
Le Champion Revolution. A little bit of the bubbly. So, all right, enough of stealing other people's gimmicks. But yeah, if you guys like our show, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification button so you get updates on when we have new shows. Make sure you guys follow us on social media at Wrestling Never Sleeps on both Facebook and Instagram, and on Twitter. You can find us at WNS_TV. I think that about wraps up tonight's show. Are we going to be back tomorrow with a possible AEW Revolution prediction show?
What's tomorrow?
It's on Sunday.
Oh yes.
I mean, yeah, because today is Saturday. So yeah, so it's tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. That's right. How can I be so stupid? Yeah, that's right.
I'm in Ontario, so we've been locked up for so many
months. Ontario, of course, is in a different time zone. Canada has its own time zone. Those silly Canadians.
Newfoundland does.
Newfoundland, I don't know where that is. I'm a stupid American. If it's not in like New York, Miami, Texas, or California, we don't know where it is.
Newfoundland is the furthest point east of Canadian soil to Europe.
There you go, people. Adam Anthony James Martin with the Snapple
there
facts.
so many times. I've done the planes, the trains, the automobiles, the anything and every which way to get out there for work.
He is the Ric Flair of Newfoundland. The
Style
train
and
riding.
Oh yeah, we weren't going to take any other people's gimmicks. So I got to stop that.
Oh yeah, right.
I owe him a quarter now for
right royalties, and he'll come collect. Flair will definitely come collect.
He's already knocking at my door.
Yeah, right. But that wraps it up for us tonight. From my co-host Adam Anthony James Martin, the straight shoot in a
Oh yes. There's one thing I forgot. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jared.
Oh golly.
You scolded me last time for doing this.
Right. You did. The producer's timing us out right now.
The network.
Yeah, the
That's
network.
what I'm gonna say. The network.
The network's pissed.
We're gonna be talking about the network on Sunday, I think. That's all I wanted to say. Because me and the network and I, we got some issues. I don't know if you guys saw the videos out there, but there's some issues going on. I was on the phone with Jared earlier, and obviously something going on. Apparently I did something to offend some people on the last episode. This weekend, hopefully I didn't offend somebody, but I'm again sorry, Jared. You can scold me after the show again.
Yeah, we would cut to a video package, but we're low budget, so
that's all I wanted to say.
So yeah, look out for that. Follow us on Twitter at wrestling at WNS_TV for my co-host Adam Anthony James Martin, the straight shoot with the suit. I'm your boy Jared Never Sleeps. Thanks for watching, and of course,
Have a great night. We're the greatest. You suck. Cheers.
it's still real to me, damn it.